confidencial 24/7. Unidos podemos ser la solución correcta. Servicio público de tu emisora episcopal, Radio Leo 1170. Amigo comerciante, Radio Leo 1170 AM es tu plataforma de publicidad y comunicación más completa y efectiva del área sur de Puerto Rico, cubriendo cada rincón con nuestra poderosa señal y conexión digital, lo que permite que tus anuncios lleguen a todos. Es el momento de emprender y crecer tus negocios. Anúnciate en la primera red social del mundo, la radio. Anúnciate en Radio Leo 1170. Comunícate con nosotros. 939-229-1170. 939-229-1170. En Radio Leo estamos en continuo crecimiento y conectados siempre. Esta es WLEO 1170 AM Ponce, una emisora de la Iglesia Episcopal Diócesis de Puerto Rico. Radio Leo, conectados siempre. Saber cómo enterarse es mantenerse en contacto. Escúchanos en Radio Leo 1170M y radioleo1170.com. Esto es En Contacto.
A esta hora a través de Radio Leo. El comisionado residente de Puerto Rico en Washington presenta plan que busca reducir el costo de vida donde más se sienten los alimentos, artículos del hogar, atención médica, vivienda, energía y cuidado familiar en Puerto Rico.
Saludos, buenos días. ¿Sí? Le pregunto, comisionado, particularmente sobre la agenda que ustedes plantean, ¿verdad?, de la asequibilidad. ¿Realmente hay posibilidad de combatir en alguna medida estos aranceles de Trump con relación a los problemas que tenemos? Y me gustaría hacerlo particular con relación a la vivienda en Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So the question was about the viability of addressing the tariffs and correcting the tariffs. La respuesta es que sí. El Tribunal Supremo acaba de tener gran parte de los aranceles que impuso el presidente Trump, reconociendo que son una facultad legislativa. Ahora mismo en el Congreso, si bien hay una mayoría republicana, es una mayoría republicana bien finita, y hay republicanos que están en contra de los aranceles. Viendo también ya las consecuencias que han tenido los aranceles en el aumento de costo de vida, yo creo que la revocación de los mismos y una regulación más estricta de los mismos es algo que debemos ver aún sin que cambie la composición del Congreso en un futuro cercano. Bueno, yo dejaré que ellos abonen. Do you feel that there's does the national mood move towards eliminating the tariffs? I would say so. Sí, la respuesta es que sí.
Con relación a lo que están planteando, en un escenario de guerra que se está hablando ahora mismo, que encarece importaciones, ¿cómo ayudaría a eliminar esos aranceles a Puerto Rico? Y si existe apertura en el Congreso para eliminar esos aranceles que ha impuesto Trump, y qué productos específicos que llegan a Puerto Rico se verían más beneficiados con la eliminación de estos aranceles.
La respuesta, reitero, sí hay ambiente para atender el asunto de los aranceles, ya sea en este Congreso o en el próximo, porque se ha visto su impacto sobre el costo de vida. Sobre lo segundo, Puerto Rico importa como 80% de lo que consume. Muchos de los aranceles también han afectado materias primas. Yo recuerdo cuando comenzó la imposición de los mismos, hablar con dueños de negocios de ropa, con dueños de negocios de sellados de techo, que hablaban como los distintos materiales que ellos importaban ahora eran mucho más caros y les obligaban a aumentar el costo de sus servicios. Así que Puerto Rico se beneficiaría grandemente. Ahora, yo sí quiero destacar lo siguiente, y estoy seguro que todas mis colegas están de acuerdo con esto. Cuando eventualmente se eliminen los aranceles, es importante que ese ahorro vaya al bolsillo de la gente. Just said that when tariffs are eliminated, it's very important that those savings go to the people's pockets and that they don't stay in the pockets of the big corporations that will benefit from eliminating those tariffs. And if you guys want to add anything, right, I forgot the. You were supposed to say something before I took questions. Sorry.
It's okay. Turn these down a little. Buenos días. Gracias por unirse a nosotros y gracias al representante Hernández por reunirnos para sacar a luz esta crisis de accesibilidad. En Puerto Rico y Florida, la vida es demasiado cara. Los republicanos les quitaron la atención médica de millones de familias y los aranceles nos aumentan los precios todos los días. Como Bad Bunny acaba de compartir con el mundo, las familias de Puerto Rico enfrentan apagones significativos sobre tensiones y aumentos en las tarifas eléctricas. Y la respuesta es invertir en nuestra infraestructura, no en dádivas para multimillonarios. Necesitamos precios de alimentos y alquileres más bajos, no corrupción flagrante o ataques del ICE a nuestras comunidades y las elecciones locales. Y tenemos un plan detallado para lograrlo. And just to say a few words in English, I'll just point to the areas that our New Dems agenda really focuses on: household prices and supporting our families. We have a plan to support small family farmers, to reinforce domestic supply chains, and to promote real business competition to drive prices down. And as we kick off Women's History Month, our New Democrats agenda has detailed plans to expand child and elder care, so families, and especially the moms who do more of this too often unpaid work, can afford to make a living and age with dignity, grace, and peace of mind. That's what my colleagues and I are here fighting for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Muy buenas tardes a todos. It's great to be back here in Puerto Rico. Thank you to my friend, to mi amigo, el congresista Pablo Hernández Rivera, for bringing us together to discuss how Congress must support a absolute new prosperous future for Puerto Rico. For far too long, Puerto Ricans have been kept from fully realizing the American dream for on the island. My very own family, my parents moved from Puerto Rico to Paterson, New Jersey, where they raised me and my siblings. Over the years, countless Puerto Rican families have made the difficult decision to move to the mainland in pursuit of opportunity. But it's time. But it's time Congress ensures that can strive where their hearts truly belong, and that's right here in Puerto Rico. We might be members of the new Democratic caucus, but the challenges are not new to us. We're focused on tackling the root causes of economic hardship. In Puerto Rico, it means building more affordable housing and building more pathways for young people to afford or rent or purchase their first home. One way we can do this is by creating solutions to convert vacant properties into housing. Municipalities have the tools to transform urban areas into livable, walkable, and transit-oriented areas. This entails creating jobs, cutting carbon emissions, and improving quality of life. But in order for the housing market to thrive, the cost needs to absolutely come down. We must address the energy crisis that has pushed businesses away and negatively affected the livelihood of communities across the island. Simply put, Puerto Rico cannot reach its full potential without a resilient power grid. But we can't patch it with Band-Aid. We must rebuild it properly, delivering reliable, affordable energy for all people while creating jobs, boosting domestic manufacturing, and driving innovation. Congress has allocated the funds, and now they must be released and spent. Finalmente, debemos insistir en la igualdad de acceso para cada puertorriqueño, igualdad en la salud, igualdad con el SNAP, igualdad en el trato de parte del Congreso y el gobierno federal hacia la isla y apoyar firmemente en tiempos de crisis y desastres. Finally, let me just say that we must insist on equal access for every Puerto Rican, equality in healthcare, equality in SNAP, equality in how Congress and the federal government treat the island and support it, supported in times of crisis and disaster. Puerto Rico es un ejemplo de fuerza, pero necesita nuestro apoyo. Mientras yo esté en el Congreso, seré una voz de apoyo para que la isla continúe creciendo y alcanzar toda su potencia. Puerto Rico is an example of strength, but it needs our support. As long as I serve in Congress, I will be a voice of support to ensure the island continues to grow and reaches its full potential. Muchísimas gracias a todos, especialmente a mi hermano, el congresista, a Hernández. Gracias. Thank you all.
Gracias. Emily.
Gracias. Pues buenos días. Soy Emily Randall del estado de Washington y muchísimas gracias a ustedes para venir a hablar con nosotros y también a mi amigo Pablo Hernández para reunirnos. Pues voy a hablar en inglés porque estoy un poco más cómoda. I've been really proud to serve for this last year alongside these incredible leaders, especially my freshman colleagues, Nelly Poe and Pablo José Hernández. We have a real challenge in front of us. The people of the United States, people of this country are facing costs that continue to rise, and they feel like no one is looking out for them. Costs for childcare, costs for housing, costs for healthcare were already going up before the Trump administration took office. And now the chaos that this administration is sowing with, tariffs up and down and up and down and up and down, grants being rescinded, programs being defunded and destaffed, is causing an economic pressure like we haven't seen before. And it is our job as members of Congress to work for stability and reliability and the support that the people of this country need. And I'm proud of the affordability agenda that the new Democratic coalition has put forward to ensure that we are reinvesting in healthcare programs like Medicaid and Medicare and expanding those programs so that they serve all people equally. So that we're reinvesting in safety net programs like SNAP and child tax credits and low-income family tax credits so that folks have a safety net to fall back on, so that they can make bold choices about building businesses and taking chances to help grow our economy. Our government exists to catch people when they fall and to ensure that everyone has the tools to build a strong future. And that means being able to afford your home, being able to afford your electricity bills, being able to afford your health care, so that you can take a chance to help grow our economy. And the new Democratic coalition has a plan to support that. And I'm so grateful to be here alongside my colleagues to tell you about it today. Gracias.
Bob?
Thank you so much. It is an honor to be here in Puerto Rico. I serve on the Natural Resources Committee, on the Water, Wildlife, and Fisheries Subcommittee, and also the Indian and Insular Affairs Committee, where we oversee the policies regarding the U.S. Commonwealth and territories, including Puerto Rico. And I take that very, very seriously. I also, and I will say, I work in coalition with your resident commissioner, Pablo Hernandez Rivera, and you could not have a stronger advocate. And in the time that I have been in Congress, I have not seen anybody fight as effectively for Puerto Rico as this man right here. It's an honor to serve with him. So I also serve on,
Use that as your soundbite.
I also serve on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Now, these aren't the exciting committees, but transportation and infrastructure is so critical, from aviation to surface transportation to water. All of these things are critical, and investments not only bring about what you need in strengthening infrastructure, but also are an opportunity to train the next generation of people of our building trades and have opportunity for young people to have a path to the middle class. And I can tell you that's what this affordability agenda is all about, because the best social program is a good paying job where someone doesn't have to figure out whether to pay rent or pay for food for their children. And that's what this is really focused on. Now, my background is international trade and manufacturing distribution. I also worked in labor as a union member and union organizer, so I understand that having strong business and strong workers, they go exactly together. And the erratic Trump tariffs are literally a tax on the American people, and in Puerto Rico, where over 80% of what you import over 80% of your consumer goods. So that means this is a direct tax on the Puerto Rican people. That means that consumers can't buy as much. That means businesses can't do as well. This, again, there is a role for tariffs, and they should be used as a tool and in a thoughtful way to do what is best for the United States and for our Commonwealth. So what I believe we should do is for Congress to do its job according to the Constitution that we took an oath to uphold, and that is that Congress has the authority to oversee tariffs, not the president. The Supreme Court just ruled the same thing. And the fact of the matter is we are ruining our international relationships. We are taxing the American people into poverty. We are destroying the ability to have investment, infrastructure, and jobs. And I'm very, very proud to be here fighting for this agenda with my with these colleagues, because they are practical, they are strong, and we are going to continue to fight. And again, it is such a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Vamos a continuar con las preguntas del tema.
And I'm sorry about skipping. Usually I do these by myself, so I was on autopilot. It's a newborn lack of sleep.
El nuevo día.
Sí, buenos días. Yo quería saber un poco cuáles eran los próximos pasos concretos en cuanto a la agenda, ¿verdad? Un poco para que sea una realidad, se buscarán más aliados. ¿Cuáles son estos primeros pasos o próximos pasos que se van a dar para que en efecto resulte en legislación que provoca lo que se está buscando con esta agenda?
Of course. So she's asking about concrete next steps. Yo hablaré respecto a Puerto Rico, ¿verdad? Esta semana se llevaría a consideración del Comité de Agricultura el proyecto del Farm Bill que presentó el liderato republicano, y ya el liderato demócrata de ese comité adelantó que impulsará una enmienda para incluir a Puerto Rico en el programa del SNAP. Obviamente, si esto es algo tan partidista, debemos anticipar que dicha enmienda no tendría éxito, pero es un paso afirmativo en la dirección correcta. También hay otros miembros que no están hoy aquí porque no pudieron asistir, que van a presentar, porque son los que están en el comité con jurisdicción, soluciones al problema del precipicio fiscal de Medicaid. Yo me uniré naturalmente y estoy colaborando ya con esos esfuerzos. En cuanto a las medidas para la nación en general, y ellos quizás quieran añadir algo, constantemente se están presentando propuestas para adelantar esta agenda, para fijar, como dicen en inglés, un marker, de manera que si hay un cambio, o yo digo, cuando haya un cambio en la composición del Congreso, se puedan atender estas medidas. I just told them that with regards to Puerto Rico, SNAP, Medicaid, but in terms of other concrete steps, we will be laying down markers that would then be either considered by this Congress or a future Congress. If you guys want to add anything?
I'll just add a couple of things. From our vantage point, the next steps would be that Democrats win the majority in November. Because when we do, and Hakeem Jeffries becomes Speaker of the House of Representatives, then we will be able to implement this agenda, more effectively in coordination, ideally when we win the Senate majority as well. And often when we have divided government, even though the differences are stark right now between Democrats and Republicans, and certainly with the Trump White House, over the years, that this is my 11th term in Congress, over the years, I've been in Congresses when we're in the majority and the minority, when we have a Republican in the White House or a Democrat in the White House and Republicans in Congress. We're usually always able to come together and compromise more effectively when that happens. So that's going to be an important step. And then also, it's as a senior member of the Appropriations Committee, we really have to make sure that we are continuing to move our appropriations bills forward because, and particularly for Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico is so often really disproportionately mistreated. The formulas for Medicaid and for so many other programs are always shortchanging you, and there's absolutely no reason for it. Treating Puerto Ricans like they are, and who live on the island, like they're second-class citizens, when it comes to making sure your needs for affordable health care and for an affordable life are no different here on the island. In fact, things are more expensive because of how much has to be imported here. So it's just really critical that we make sure that the bills that have to pass, which are our appropriations bills, are moving forward in a way that is going to focus on improving the funding that we need to help make people's lives better, and our policies make people's lives more affordable.
Vamos a ir a preguntas de vocero.
Buenos días. Quería ampliar en algo que ella mencionó. Dijo que entonces podrían impulsar la agenda más fácilmente de ganar entonces los demócratas en noviembre. O sea que entonces esto es sujeto, impulsar esta agenda estaría sujeto a cómo terminen esas elecciones y tendríamos que entonces esperar hasta noviembre para ver algún tipo de logro concreto.
So she asked whether the agenda is contingent on winning the majority. La respuesta directa y breve es que no, porque ahora mismo, como decía la congresista, en el proceso de apropiaciones, por ejemplo, suelen haber negociaciones bipartidistas y se llegan a acuerdos a pesar de un gobierno dividido que incluyen algunas de estas prioridades. Por ejemplo, en los últimos 2 meses que se aprobaron estos proyectos de apropiaciones, mediante enmiendas que yo presenté, logramos que se incluyeran asignaciones multimillonarias para el Departamento de Energía y la modernización de la red eléctrica, también para inversiones en la infraestructura de agua en todos los Estados Unidos, que de por sí también es prueba de que uno como comisionado residente no tiene que limitarse a impulsar cosas únicamente para Puerto Rico, sino puede impulsar cosas para la nación en general que también benefician a Puerto Rico, que fue lo que hicimos en el contexto de esas enmiendas, que fueron aprobadas con respaldo bipartidista y luego firmadas por el presidente dentro de un paquete de medidas mucho más grande. Naturalmente, será sumamente más fácil y más seguro aprobar esta agenda con una mayoría congresional demócrata.
Y en esa misma línea, comisionado, sobre todos los temas que mencionaron y la agenda que tienen ya planificada, ¿hay alguno en el cual estén enfrentando más oposición de la mayoría y que estén enfrentando un poco más de reto? ¿Y cuáles ven que tendrían más posibilidad de pasar por esa negociación bipartita?
Yo te diría que sí, hay algunos que son menos bipartitas que otros. Por ejemplo, el tema de los aranceles, la oposición principal es demócrata, la imposición de los aranceles es una política republicana. El tema de energía, los republicanos están insistiendo y actuando como si la única fuente de energía que hubiera en el mundo son combustibles fósiles. Nosotros estamos proponiendo una alternativa mucho más práctica de reconocer que hay diversas fuentes de energía y que la más útil y valiosa pues puede variar por jurisdicción a base de sus necesidades. O sea, yo soy de los que cree firmemente que en Puerto Rico, por nuestra crisis energética, aunque yo no quisiera, puede que tengamos que tolerar el gas por un tiempo porque es más barato, porque está más disponible, pero eso no implica que debamos descartar, como se está descartando totalmente, la eólica, la solar, etcétera, por la administración federal.
Victoria.
Yeah.
I don't think that finding a path to the middle class should be a partisan issue. And I can tell you, talking to my Republican colleagues, they also believe that this tariff policy is bad for America. Now, my district is very large. It's 2.5 times the size of New Jersey, right? Very large.
And how many times the size of Puerto Rico?
Very large. Very, very large. But I represent very conservative farmers and ranchers and commercial fishermen. I also represent Democrats, but fundamentally across the political spectrum, people are feeling the effects of the Trump tariff tax. So the issue is my Republican colleagues will not stand up to do the job that they took an oath to do because they are afraid of offending a president who is overreaching on his executive authority. So you ask whether or not we need Democrats in order to fulfill this agenda. Yes, we will try, and I certainly, and I know everyone here, will work with anyone, regardless of what party, to make sure that people have a path to good jobs in the middle class. But right now, unfortunately, I don't see my Republican colleagues having the backbone to do what's needed.
Could you express, because you said the American people are
Yes.
against the tariffs. Are
Yeah.
any Republican congressmen expressing it even in the hallways?
Well, they actually are, and they have come out. Like a number of Republican Congress people have stepped up to say we oppose these tariffs. Those Republicans, even ones that are in swing seats, have been attacked and threatened with primaries by the president. So what he wants is not best for the American people or Puerto Rico, but he wants loyalty no matter what. So Republicans have stepped forward, and each and every one of them have been warned by the White House that they will be primaried if they don't fall into line. So I just wish more of my colleagues would actually stand up to do their jobs.
24 horas